And welcome back. We're here with Ivan Watson, Gary Tuchman, and Sanjay Gupta. First of all, Gary, last night you showed a story which I've been thinking about nonstop. There's an old age home near the airport. I mean, these people have been abandoned. And is there any update?
Yeah, they've been abandoned, and they have soiled mattresses, and some of the old people are wearing diapers, and the diapers aren't being changed. Some people have no clothes whatsoever, no food, no water. We did the story. We're happy to say, not completely satisfied, but some food has come in. They have some water now from emergency group, and very importantly, a big tarp has been put over because they've been outside, so if it rains, they have protection now.
But they're still outside, and they don't have real caregivers around the clock or anything like that.
They're still outside, and they need a lot of help, and the problem is there's no plan what to do with them, and many of these people can't walk, can't move.
And this is just one old age home that you just happen to know about. There are probably others in this city that are just as bad, if not worse.
That's the problem. I mean, we're looking for them. We're looking for those stories to tell, but this is typical of what we're seeing around Port-au-Prince.
Right. Ivan, last couple of days, anything that stands out for you?
Today, the most impressive aid distribution I've seen, Anderson, was done by the U.S. Army, the 82nd Airborne, at a golf course that's become a massive, basically a refugee camp. Thousands and thousands of people on this golf course, and there were choppers coming in every 10 minutes, and the soldiers, the officers estimate they're getting about 60 people through a minute. I saw them revolving them through, giving them water, giving them food rations, and even in some cases hand radios to spread information through the city.
Wow, that's cool. Sanjay, how about you?
Well, you know, sort of the same thing. I mean, there's been some improvements, I think, overall in aid. You know, they say there's 300 water and food stations now out there. 600,000 MREs, I think, have been distributed overall. But still, the medical stuff is still a little bit irritating, I think. As you know, we went in there and got some of those supplies ourselves. And as you said, Anderson, I think everyone that we talked to really kind of understands the problem and is trying to do the right thing. But it's one of those examples where it's just so confusing still, I think, on so many levels that it's hard for people to actually execute what they want to do.
And we've been covering, and a lot of media, I think, have been covering, and there's a lot of interest in the orphans who are being united with their parents, adopted parents back home. But let's not forget, I mean, there really is this whole new crop of orphans here. And first of all, there's many orphans who live in orphanages which they're not up for adoption. They're orphanages which they're raised in here. But also, you now have all these kids who don't have their parents or only have one parent. And the question is, what's going to happen to them? And there's really, at this point, it doesn't seem like obviously it's early days, but not a system in place for what to do with them. So you have a lot of doctors and nurses who have these kids, wounded kids, and they don't know where to send them. I mean, they literally don't want to release them because they'd go out on the streets.
Yeah, and the orphans, adults as well, as you know. But you know, it's an interesting point. I mean, would they? How much time is spent looking for parents, and how long do you wait before calling them an orphan?
Right.
I mean, you know that so many of these bodies are unidentified. You know, so how do you even figure that out?
Well, I mean, the Red Cross has a history in other conflicts of reuniting. I mean, in Rwanda, in the wake of the genocide, they had a big reuniting effort. So there's clearly got to be some sort of effort to match people, and I think that's already begun somewhat. But you know, I guess it's just too early at this point.
When Sanjay and I were at the General Hospital the other day, Bill Clinton was there, and Sanjay was talking to the former president. 10 feet away from where they were talking, there was a little boy who was about 14 months old, laying on a cot, and there was a woman sitting next to him. I thought maybe the woman was his grandmother. The woman was just there to comfort him. The boy's parents died. They have no, and he was seriously wounded. They have no idea what they're going to do with him.
Yeah. If you don't have a loved one with you in the hospital here, traditionally it's the loved one who brings you food. It's not the hospital that brings you food. You know, you see people whose moms are just sitting there swatting flies off them. But if there's no adult in their life, the kid just sits there as flies are crawling all over him, and there's only so many doctors and nurses around that they can do a time to.
These images are so hard to see. You know, it's funny because I get so many emails from viewers. So many people say, I want to adopt.
Yeah.
And I want to bring one of these kids home, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us have had that impulse to just want to try to do something. Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it as always. A lot more coverage coming up. Stay tuned. More news on politics and what's going on here in Haiti. We'll be right back.